What was that one thing that made weight loss finally work for you? Pouring snacks into little ramekins to eat them. Suddenly, I ate a normal amount of snacks, not an insane amount. This is similar to a tip I read once that's super helpful. Your brain isn't good at telling the size of a container, but it's great at telling how full the container is. If you eat out of ice cream bowls and salad plates instead of soup bowls and dinner plates, you can fill your bowl plate with food, eat all the food, feel full, and end up having eaten a lot less. With zero ongoing work or willpower, too. All it takes is swapping things around in your kitchen cabinet one time. Finding a hobby. I was binge eating because I was bored. Coming home from work to sit on the couch would make it way easier to eat like shit. Now I just go and do something I like so I won't find distraction in eating. I meal prepped my typical amount of food, and instead of putting it in 2 containers, I spread it evenly in 4 containers. I forced myself to only eat 1 container per meal and tricked my brain into thinking it was my normal amount. Effectively cut calories by half doing this. Lost about 40 pounds in 9 months. To reuse a response I made to a similar question. Embrace the suffering. Expect that you'll be breathing hard and uncomfortable when you're doing cardio. Expect that you'll be sore after you lift, and expect that you'll be hungry when you're restricting your intake. Once you stop focusing on not wanting to be uncomfortable, you open yourself up to all the positive feelings associated with fitness that lead to adherence and ultimately real and lasting results. A movie. One night, out of boredom, I watched That Sugar film. It's not a groundbreaking documentary or anything, and I wasn't even looking for motivation to be healthy. But it explains what sugar does to your body and how food companies have hidden added sugars to foods for decades. That lit a fire. I was mad because I'd been living with a misunderstanding that things like fruit juice or low-fat foods were healthy, when in fact, they are loaded with sugars. That night, I threw out anything in my kitchen that had added sugars. Over the next week or two, my mood leveled out and my mental health improved. And over the next 2 years, I steadily lost 60 pounds. I'll never go back. Added sugar is the devil. Edit. Clarified my misunderstanding. Saw a doctor about my type 2 diabetes. I weighed over 300 pounds and also had coronary artery disease. I qualified for diabetes medication that also helps control appetite. Started tracking calories and exercising. I have lost over 100 pounds and work out 6 days a week. I no longer need diabetes medication because my blood sugar has been stable for over a year. Stress test showed perfect heart function. Live strong. Ozempic. I no longer binge eat or jimmy my way into my son's locked food box. I stopped buying takeaway. It's been a life changer. I'm no longer controlled by food. I'm betting you get downvoted for this. A lot of people think it's the easy option. Some people have that same opinion towards weight loss surgery too. But what they don't realize is that the vast majority of people are taking this drug as part of an informed decision about their health in conjunction with their doctor. It's not just celebrities who want to lose 10 pounds to look good on the red carpet. It is well known that by delaying gastric emptying, it makes you feel fuller, so you eat less. Eating less means you lose weight. But there are other components to how it works too, and a lot of these are being studied. For a lot of obese people, it isn't simply a moral failing or that they are just greedy. There is also the concept of food noise, which works in the same way as other addictions. One description I once saw: imagine a coworker brings in a box of donuts. Everyone will have a donut and go back to work. There are leftover donuts that get put in the break room. Most people will just go back to work and get on with their day. But for people who suffer with food noise, all they can think about are those donuts. They aren't stupid. They know it's a mistake to have another. But they are there, and it's like it's itching the mind. And that itch won't go away. Eventually, they will not be able to take it anymore and then go and get that second donut, or maybe even a third. They aren't being greedy. It's similar to how a lot of addictions work, or constant thinking about food, like planning ahead what to eat next, when you're still eating something else. I had a similar thing when I used to smoke, constantly thinking about and planning my day around when or where I was going to pick up my next pack. When Chantix came on the market, you didn't hear smokers being criticized for taking it as part of an informed decision about their health. This is no different. Interestingly, semaglutide, Ozempic, and other GLP medications are also being studied as treatments for other addictions, like alcohol. I don't think there are many people who would criticize people getting help for the awful disease of alcoholism. So please stop criticizing people who are taking Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, etc. I quit drinking alcohol, not the one thing, but it helped. I quit buying all chips and crackers, candy, ice cream, etc. Less carbs, lots of vegetables, small portions, real food, no processed garbage, no eating after 8 p.m. I started walking and got up to 2 miles a day. Summer of 2023, I was over 200 pounds and had a hard time walking up the small hill to work. I just had a doctor visit last week and my weight is 179. My goal is 160. Clothes fit better, maybe even a little big. Never thought that would happen. If I can lose weight, anybody can. Never give up. Going to the doctor. I had been trying everything. I had a healthy diet and consistent exercise for months, but was seeing virtually no movement in my weight. Turns out I have an autoimmune disease. I found out I have Hashimoto's and a nearly dead thyroid, so my metabolism was completely cooked. My body literally didn't burn calories the way it was supposed to. Once I got the diagnosis, I was able to get thyroid medication and my body's metabolism got back to where it's supposed to be. Weight began to fall off. So I encourage everyone out there to go see a doctor if you think you're eating right and exercising but not seeing much improvement. You might have a condition. My sister has this. She is the most careful person I know in terms of tracking calories and exercising. She does not skip a day, still had high BMI most of her adult life. Finally, a doctor didn't do the condescending calories in, calories out speech, believed her, had her tested, and now she's treating her thyroid issues, full of energy and a size 2. All it takes is a health professional who believes you and doesn't make assumptions. I'm sure some people need basic education about nutrition. Many know the basics already, but have additional issues. My own OBGYN is a treasure who believed what I told him. That is so hard to find. Having a baby. Now that my daughter is eating food with us, I am cooking so much more. I am now planning the week of meals consistently, actually using the groceries I buy, and eating out way less. Plus, having a baby is expensive, so I'm having home coffee most of the time, which has way fewer calories than coffee I would buy out. Plus, chasing around a toddler and taking her for walks all the time is helping. I haven't lost a lot of weight yet, but before getting pregnant, I was on a pretty consistent slow gain over several years. Aside from some postpartum weight gain due to my antidepressant at the time, I've been consistently losing weight for the past 8 months.